Hi guys, welcome. Welcome back to another episode on the Truth and Tales podcast. Yes, welcome back. I don't even know if you are the ones to be saying welcome to us or we are the ones to welcome you guys. But either way, there's a welcoming involved. There's a welcoming involved, and it feels like it's been a while since we have, uploaded a video. It's actually been a while we have recorded, so it's not like we recorded, we refused to upload. No, that's not the case here. It's been a while since we've recorded, but it's all for good news. It's all for great news. So we are happy to be back. We are excited to be back again with another, as always, interesting episode. Juicy conversation. It's a good way to come back. After the long break, it's a good conversation to have. And it's something that has to do with like money in marriages, or is it so? Oh, Victoria, what are we discussing today? Is it a truth or tale? What are we doing today?
I think this is like a truth and tales together because
all combined.
Right? I mean, if you're Nigerian and you're avid on Instagram, you probably have seen, and I've seen a number of YouTube already doing, reactions to this and stuff. So it's basically a Nigerian influencer. Her name is Kiki. Most of you would know her if you are a Nigerian. She did an interview with Toke Makinwa, I think, here on YouTube.
The baby girl for life.
Here on YouTube, and she was talking about the dynamics of her own marriage. And in that video, she mentioned, the fact that, I think we're going to play the video here. Just a few clips from it, just for you guys to watch and, so that you can flow with the conversation, just in case you haven't seen that video.
Me, for one, I tell women this. How will you be leaving the house and you're not paying rent? For me, it does not make sense. See, I'm living in this house. We are sharing the rent. On my birthday, fly me to Dubai. Fly me to Barcelona for my birthday. That's beautiful. Buy me a Fendi bag. Buy me a Christian whatever. Beautiful. But that I'll be living in that house and not pay rent, it is not possible. So that when once you carry chair, carry television, you carry the roof, I'll carry the floor. We'll see everything you call it for. You can't tell me get out of my house. No, that's not to be an adult. You can't tell me get out of my house.
So as you can tell now, that's what we are discussing today about, splitting bills in marriage. And, she mentioned that she always shares the bills 50-50, the house rent, but I think the issue that I had, with the way she said it is the fact that, it's like, I don't understand how you as a woman, you can be living in a house and you are not paying rent. To me, as an African woman that I am, okay, could make sense, all right? I don't know. I don't know your thought. We probably will have deviating opinion. I don't think so, because you this girl that I'm looking at, you can come back with views, but I don't know.
They have raided me. They have finished me. My village people.
We kind of know you too. So, anyways, so she mentioned that now about, and I think that's one of the major things that people were like, oh, what are you talking about? You cannot make this like a thing for women now. And to me, I just feel like we just live in an age where a lot of things is expected from a woman. It's like, can we catch a break? It's one thing to be saying that, oh, as a woman, you should be responsible for this. Tomorrow, it's as a woman, you should be responsible for that. You should take care of the home. A woman that cannot cook. I was watching one video, the pastor, if you cannot cook, you are failed as a woman. If you don't have skills, you are failed as a woman. If you cannot give birth, you are failed as a woman. Can we brief?
Let the poor brief.
Oh, can we brief?
Let the poor brief.
Let the women brief. Let's brief. You guys are suffocating us, okay? Can you let us brief? Now we are saying that a woman that cannot. I feel like I don't know, maybe it's the Africanness in me, and I know that in the Western world now, right, which the two of us kind of are, right, it's a thing here that when you get married, the two of you split the bills. At least that's what I know about their culture. There is no way the man is the only one. They have their own culture. But I feel like as Africans, and my husband always says this thing, like we like to copy so much. We believe that anything that is Western is the standard, but it's not. We like to adopt things that are not necessarily our culture, our tradition. And to be honest, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even biblical. Yes, there is nowhere in the Bible that the Bible puts it on the woman to be the one to be the provider in the family or to contribute to the provision of the family. Yes, yes, I know we live in separate worlds. In a different time now, and as a woman, I will not encourage any woman to, just go into marriage, not have a skill, not have any plan for your life, and just wait for a man to take care of you. No, but don't forget your primary purpose as a woman. You are a helper, you are an assister, you are not the same. So you saw me in my one-bedroom apartment or in my parents' house. You as the man, you say you want me to come and join you. So you are asking me to come and join you. You don't know that you're supposed to make provision. Because I feel like when we start to have this mindset, this is one of the reasons why a lot of women are not getting married. Because they're like, I've not achieved this, I've not achieved that. And then when it's now like quarter to 30, it's like, oh my God, and now I'm desperate to get into marriage and everything. Because we feel like we have to, it's either I'm career or I'm facing marriage. We've made it so stressful. And that's because we're trying to do marriage by our own dictate. And we are not following the author. What did God say? How did God program marriage to be? And you see, Chebe is today, we're going to talk about that in our next video. The woman who took up responsibility. Please don't make sure that you watch.
That's why you should subscribe. That's why you should just subscribe.
Subscribe. If you have not subscribed, you are wrong. Okay, subscribe to this channel. But I always say this, and I was telling my husband that you see, there is no way a woman would take up certain responsibilities in the house that she will not. I don't want to talk about this in this video. We'll talk about it in another video. But in the next video, go and watch that video. But what I'm saying is that I feel like we are putting so much demand on being a woman that it's almost like we are now competing with men. If a man can provide, you should also provide. A man can do this. So and I think the other thing that people had issues with is the fact that he said that so that if you say move out, you carry the house, I carry this. Yes, I know, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm ignorant, right? With the fact that marriages, some marriages go sour and all of that, and it can become very, very messy. But the truth is, you cannot still go into marriage with the thought of, so that if anything happens, why? Nothing is going to happen. Like we both die here. That's the agreement we entered into marriage with. We both die here. So why am I going to say that the reason, and they say the reason I'm contributing is not because, I'm trying to help. The reason I'm contributing is that if something happens, if you cannot tell me get out of my house. First of all, if you marry a man that will tell you get out of your house because you're having an argument, the problem is not the fact that you're not contributing, is that you married don't let me say what I'm not supposed to say. The person you married is the problem. It's not the fact that you're not contributing. Right. So I don't know, Yemi, I've talked too much. What do you think about
right
this conundrum?
Hey, splitting bills in marriage. So it's like two things now: splitting bills in marriage, and then the whole thing that how Kiki said. And there's been a lot of reactions and all of that. When I heard the whole backlash when I watched the whole, I watched parts of it, the ones that were circulating on YouTube, on Twitter and online, and I was like, okay, I cannot really base this on what I'm hearing. Let me go and watch the full episode. And then I saw the full episode, and watching the full episode, it made me kind of ease up to what she was saying, because the context, and I believe that when somebody says that, especially these days on social media, I don't like to just take it the way it is on social media, because I know there's always going to be a context to what that person is saying. Like sometimes somebody can say, I don't like food, and then you see it on social media as she said she has never eaten in her life, so when I saw it, I was like, okay, let me first go and listen to the whole episode. And when I listened to the whole episode, honestly, it's just when you bring out a part in the whole conversation, and I feel like Kiki is a comedian. Kiki is she's out there. So I don't think, the part that she said, if he carries shoe, I will. If he carry TV, I'll carry TV. I don't think it's what she really means. I think it's just when you use something to explain, so that he would not, in the future, he would not do this. But with the part of splitting bills, I really don't see anything wrong in it, honestly. Will I go and be splitting bills? That's a different question. That is a different question for another day.
So you don't see anything wrong in this, but you can't.
Because I don't have that money. You see, that's what I would say.
So okay, so if you and your husband, if you earn the same, okay, let's say you earn the same way, right? Do you think that you are going to split the bill
and pay the rent and pay rent?
Splitting of bill. I don't even care about the splitting of bills, but when you make it
a general thing for women to do.
I say money, when our money is our money, When we make money and make money, we bring it together. What can you afford? How do we? I don't even. Maybe it's the way we will see money in my own house, because it's like there's something that needs to be done. Who has the money? Settle it.
I think.
Okay, but when it comes to rent. Go ahead.
I think what she was saying is in context, like she said, in her own home, she pays the rent. That's what up until that conversation. I don't think anybody knows what is going on in her marriage. And I remember there was a question that led to that. It was I can't remember, but there was a question that led to her saying, "This is what I tell single women. Like, for example, I cannot live in a house and not pay rent." That's her own opinion. That's her own perception. That's her own, the way she sees things. And whatever led to that opinion of hers, that's her own problem. And I think it's what works in her home. And I remember Toke also saying that, saying that she cannot pay rent in the house, but her husband will never have to worry about home food and homekeeping. And to be honest, growing up, right, I've said this a couple of times, that I didn't see most women in growing up as the one. I saw the father providing for every damn thing, even food, even this thing. And I always wonder, like, what do you use your money for? And I remember living, like, staying with a certain family, and the mother would even go and tell the children when the father has collected money, like when the father has money, like, oh, he has money now, go and this is when you should go and ask for certain things. And I'm like, you're working too. It's not like you're not working. What exactly do you use your money for? The children are resuming school. They need to provide provisions for boarding house. He will pay for it. And then she uses her own money to supplement buying extra things, supplement whatever it is he has given. Like, everything the man does. And that annoys me. Like, I'm just like, what exactly is your own... What? And it's not like eventually you see them buying land somewhere or doing something. No, whatever it is they are doing, like, so I already had this mindset that I'm not going to be that person that would not contribute. But it's not that I want to come and be paying rent, or I want to come and be, you were asking a question the other time that if I was earning the same income with my husband, would I pay rent? I wouldn't pay rent. I wouldn't pay rent. Just because I don't, in my own house, there's a way it works that if it's not a case of, somebody is interviewing me, I wouldn't share what works in my own house, because that's what works in my own house. I can't, like, pay rent. But there are other things that I do in the house. Let me even give an example. Like, for example, my husband he believes he's a saver. He's the kind of person that likes to save. He will save first before he spends.
The person that I married to,
that's the mindset. I must save. That's the kind of mindset. Sorry about that too. The person you marry is a spend. If not remain, will not keep it. But just in case something quickly come up, I will quickly spend that one that I'm even thinking of saving.
Yeah, me too.
I will quickly spend that. Even in fact, if there's Kukuma borrow me from that saving, let me quickly spend. That's the kind of...
Let's sort out the needs, the pressing needs, the things that needs to be done in the house.
I cannot feel like I'm the kind of person that everywhere is moody. We are gloomy. Like I will say that's something that we have here. Let's quickly use that and go and make memory. That's me. that's the kind of person I am.
I make memory.
I will not say let's spend it. I will say make memory. So he knew early on that if I depend on this girl and don't take the finance in this house seriously, if I listen to her, people will not do anything in this life. That's it. That's the kind of person that you quickly learn that you can't do this with this girl. Now, but I also had this. I just do not believe in not enjoying your life because But I wouldn't also want to not contribute. So he didn't need to I'm the kind of person that if I collect my salary now, there was a time that I was earning well, and I'll take all my salary and I'll give it to my husband. He would then decide how we're going to share it. Just because I know myself, I don't know how to caution myself. And I also knew that we had plans as a family that I know that were very important. Okay, this is how much I've earned in this month. Take. And then out of that, we then decided, I still need money to enjoy. So the certain portion will be for you to do whatever you like. That's your business. If you like, spend it all in one day. That's for you. We carved that out. And that was something that worked. Now, somebody else might take this and be like, I'll collect salary. I'll go and give it to, my husband to come and be doing everything. Somebody else will take it out of context. Somebody else cannot do it. And I'm not asking that is what women should do. But I'm saying, I know a couple that, the husband will bring all the money he has earned in that month and give it to the wife at a certain point, because she was the one that knew how to manage money. And to the last thing of everything they need, the bills they needed to pay, she would get it done. And she knew how much they would save. So she was the one that, was the better financial planner in the house. So I think that a lot of marriages, they just don't say it. Everybody has like different ways of doing things.
Of course.
That is working.
Yeah.
But when she said that, I think she was just talking out of, when a lot of women will be like, and it's true, she was mentioning that a lot of baby girls now, a lot of ladies now, they just want to be taken care of. All of them just wants to go into marriage and be pampered and be taken care of and not actually contribute. And then that's what caused, see finish. And like she said, there's respect in doing, because let me tell you, it is true. In Nigeria, I wasn't working. My husband was the only one working, and I was spending. There was a difference when I was working and I was earning. There was a difference when it comes to it's not even beginning. There is respect in doing, even if it is something little that you are contributing that relieves that person of the pressure of going to work every day. It is something. So I think she was just talking out of the way that she has seen young people behave, young women behave. Now, will I pay rent to my husband? I wouldn't. I'm more of in the school of thought with Toke that if you are paying all the rent, I'm more of like, you handle major bulk things. I would handle recurring expenses, like things that we constantly need to do every month. I'll do that. But when it comes to like huge capital investments in the family, you handle that. Big bulk things that are like fixed, let me say. Because if I say recurring now, rent is recurring. Somebody will say, why are you not taking care of rent? Let him be doing investments for the family. But I just mean like, I wouldn't want to pay rent. It's not like, just because Kilo come rent, like, what's my business with rent? Go and pay the rent now. It's just the same way like school fees. Go and pay school fees now. What's my business? What's my business? Yeah. But if I need to step in the house, like, if there's a shortage here, I will step in. If I'm earning exactly the same as my husband, it would still be the same. Because I don't have that mindset of, let me contribute or let me do this. No. And that doesn't mean that you will not see Fenty Louboutin and you will say you not buy for me. You will still buy. You will still buy. Even if I see link, I will send to you. You will buy. Because
one thing you said that is, it's so profound, is the fact that what works for every home is different. I think what took me aback is like the way I don't know, and like you said, a lot of these things can be taken out of context, and I would not even have listened if this was something written, but just the way that she said it, that was the thing. Like, how can you be in the house and you are not paying rent? That is not the standard for every home. That is not the standard for every family. What works for your family is not what works for the other person. And as far as I am concerned, I don't think that it is the woman's job to be able to afford rent to get married. Like, it's not one of the prerequisites for getting married. There are lots of ways, there are lots of things that women contribute, and there are a number of women that probably, they are not earning as much or whatever for some whatever reason. It does not make you less of a woman because you're unable to contribite to rent. And I'm sure that's probably the way that other people feel.
I think people were just hurt by
you have money. Everybody knows
you're doing well.
Make money.
Exactly,
madam. You are doing well. Not a lot of women do that. Not a lot of women can afford to do that. But they take care of the home, they take care of the children, they do this, and that's what they are doing. It is equally as important as you that you are able to pay rent. Right, so just like you said for your home, for me, will I be able to contribute? Absolutely. See, me, I said,
sorry to cut you. I just remember that I wanted to say something about that. If you carry table, I will carry chair. Did you know that, in fact, in this week, I received a voice note from somebody, exactly this thing. They were having an argument. The man said, "Get out of my house." And it entered inside my body. Like, I now thought of it that, and you did mention that it is not about you not contributing. It's about the person the person of the man that would tell somebody to take your get out of my house. It's the person of the man. It's not about you contributing or not contributing. Because to God who made me, I'm not even contributing rent. If you tell me to get out of my house, both of us are going to move drama in that place.
Which house, sir?
We're going to do drama.
You will ask him, where's the maintenance of this house? What are you talking about?
Because that's not one day. That was one day I was scolding my son, and I was telling him, you will pack your bag and get out of this. I was telling him it's not my house. I said, whose house is it? They said, it's his daddy's house. I said, who told you that it's your daddy's house? He said, it's his daddy that is paying rent. I said, who told you that? Because I don't know why me and him sit down and was saying, it's you know, it's that sharp color one that will be able to say all this nonsense. He said, hey, it's his daddy's house, not my house. I said, who told you that it's your daddy that is? I don't, because me and you have not sit down to calculate how we are doing this thing. And I'm like, you this sharp color boy. I packed the bag that day. You thought I was joking. I packed it, I put it aside. I said, you are going outside. It started to beg. Since that day, not tell me that you move out of my house again. You know? But anyways, I think if you have heard or you've seen an experience where a man says that to somebody, if you see any woman that decides to say, everything's 50-50, I think that's what happened with this Gabriel Union and that her husband. It was that from one, what I thought we were going to even talk about it was from, because that one too is exactly what she said, that everything must be divided into two because of one thing that he said about, you know, this is my house. Yeah. And then she decided that,
but that's my problem.
You will not say to me again.
That's my problem.
So those
have you not in argument said what you don't mean to your husband? Sometimes when you're having arguments, it happens. But see, and sometimes, and that's the thing, I feel like we take trauma from our parents' marriages we've seen around and all of that, and we bring it into our marriage. And yes, I know there is wisdom in, you know, learning from other people's mistakes. But guess what? I did not marry the same man you married. We did, like, the person, like, whatever bad thing in your marriage, we are so quick to attribute the bad things from other people's marriage to us than we do the good things. And that's my issue. Right? So I'm not saying that as a woman you should not contribute. I'm not saying that as a woman, I don't, personally, I believe that as a woman you should have something you do. You should have something that you use to help the man. You are a helper, not a liability. We are supposed to assist the man. But one thing we also need to know is you are not equal to the man. You don't have equal responsibilities. And yes, there might be times, you know, in marriages that, you know, maybe one person loses his job, or maybe salary is delayed, or stuff like that. That is where you come in as a helper. You know, there's been times, you know, in my marriage that maybe stuff is not, maybe my husband is using his money for something, you know, else, or maybe he's not getting income and stuff, and I step in and all my salary will go into this and into, you know, housekeeping and stuff like that. There are times like that, but that does not make it the norm. The moment things goes back to equilibrium, you know what you are taking, I know what I'm taking. But that's the thing, I'm also a person that, I know maybe again, like I said, everybody's homes and the dynamics and how it works, it's different. Because for me personally, I don't know what is your money, what is my money, how much is left in your account, Oga. It tells me, okay, we need to get this and that. This is what I have left in my account. Like, there is no marriage is, to me, transparency. It's openness. You know what's there, you know what's there. When money comes, you put it down. What do we need to do? Okay, we need to do this and that. This is how much I'm putting in my savings. This is how much I know you're putting. This is what we have left. Yeah. You get that? So I believe that yes, you should have your savings, you should have your savings, we should contribute to the home together. But this is the rule. Yeah. I don't know. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. You are supposed to contribute together 50-50. Somebody was telling me that in my comment section that he cannot marry a wife that will be contributing more, that is 50-50 in his marriage. If today is paid school fees, next term is the wife that is paying. If he don't, like, seriously,
and if he finds that woman that have the same mindset and they both agree that if you pay this term, I'll pay next term, fine, amazing.
May God give you, that's my prayer for him, that may God give you the desire of your heart. Okay, but just make sure that you let the woman know before you get into marriage that this is what you, because of my bad, you should not enter, you should not be saying that, because guess what, just like she said, every woman wants, you know, to feel like, you know, somebody is in charge. I don't, you know, not in a toxic way, of course, but you know, we are not created to carry this burden that society is placing on women. We are physically, emotionally, spiritually not created to carry it, but the society is forcing us to feel shoes, and that's why you see women, you know, being disrespectful, getting tired, getting frustrated, and all of that in their marriage, because they are carrying load that you were not built to carry. I don't know, but it's me.
You're right. You're right.
You think in the
you're absolutely right. And you know, at the beginning you mentioned something that today you hear women don't marry a woman that does not have vision. Tomorrow you hear don't marry the one that cannot cook. Next tomorrow you hear don't marry the one that cannot pay rent. And all of these things are just targeted at the woman. And I think again it boils down from different people's approach to deal with different traumas that they've experienced in their parents or in the past or generally in the society. Because saying that, and I remember even in that conversation, Kiki did mention that she and her husband, they know that no matter what happens, so we will deal with this thing knowing that this is our marriage. It's both of us inside it. Like there's no opting out for both of us. Like she mentioned, like she said it in one part. So when she was saying I will carry chair, I will carry load, I knew that, you know, it was because before
obviously things can be taken out
because
of context,
even before she mentioned that, she has said both of them have decided that okay, I might give you space, I might give, but we are in this together. There's no way we are both going. We have made that decision ahead of time, you know. And I think that it's just like different people's approach. Different people. Somebody has gotten married, or maybe the man got married, their parents got married. The mother couldn't cook. The man, because of the mother couldn't cook, the man went to go and eat food outside. They cashed the man left them. Then the person will not say, don't marry a woman who cannot cook. Another person will experience some kind of thing in their parents' home and then come back and say, oh yeah, don't marry a woman that, because of the traumas, the experiences, and what.
Let the women brief.
I mean, there's so many things that have choked.
You hold that responsibility.
Other things that have choked women in the past. Everybody's now looking for ways to solve it that is not in unison. So there's not a manual or approach to dealing with the issues of the past. You see now, this lady, Ginny Maya, what's her name? That got married. That guy. I just recently found out that they are divorcing on the basis of she
is a lie.
That the husband.
Ginny Maya. No, wait. Come. I
said I saw this morning on you on YouTube. I saw one of those YouTube shorts. I saw that she is. I don't know if that is bad news or if it's a lie or something, but I read the comments and a few people were talking about it like it seems real, and she came out to say she's the issue and she has anger issues or something like that, and she's working on it. She didn't come out to put it on him or anything like that, but he's filing for divorce, and a lot of people were talking about how she's been disrespectful in the relationship. You know, everybody will have a say, and about how she's always wanting him to be. That always, how she's always saying we are equals, and you know when you say something, you out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak it, and it comes from that statement of we are equal comes from the experience she's had herself growing up, and then you want somebody that will be equal, and when you keep saying something, that's how you act. If you say that somebody is your equal, you disrespect the person. And nobody wants to be disrespected. We say men don't want to be, even a woman don't want to be disrespected. Now talk of men that, you know, we are built differently. So
of course,
it's all this trying to fix the issues of the environment, society, that everybody's now using different approach. This person's experience, he will see something. Like the person that said, get out of my house now. Their own experience. So me, like for example, even me myself, that I said I've seen people, women having money, they're not contributing. The men want it, and I'm thinking this is too much pressure. I said, no, that would not be me. Even if it is food and the recurring experience, I will do it. That's me.
I'm not. See, I think all this equal rights. Yes, I see. Personally, I believe that yes, in marriage we are partners and stuff. But even in partnership, there's always somebody that the name comes first. It's not both people's name that will come first in the contract. Somebody's name will come first. So we are partners, but even in that partnership, according to Christ, there is a structure. Okay. There is the head and there's the woman. There's God first, there's the man, there's the woman, there's the children. That is the way, that is the standard. But when we start to, and it doesn't mean toxicity. So a pastor was talking about, you know, was trying to illustrate it, and I understand also is because, you know, a lot of men have taken advantage of that theme. You know, the Bible says, and you know, abuse women and make them feel less. No woman is less, okay? In marriage, you're partners, but at the same time, in that partnership, there is a head in that partnership, right? And and you know, when it comes to money, do what works for you. Do what works for your family. Do what works in your marriage. Don't go. And the reason why I understand what you're saying about, you know, a lot of things is taken out of context and stuff, it's also because a lot of people will just hear that clip and run with it. Because guess what? Your title is an influencer. You are influencing people. So when you are saying stuff too, you should be very careful not to make it a rule or a standard. So a woman will say, now that I cannot afford to parent, I cannot get married until I'm able to achieve financially. Why? Right? So it is well,
allow yourself
our time is fast spent.
Allow yourself to breathe.
Better breathe.
Because
me right now is me or guy
my dear,
the envy of
as
that.
I've said,
You know,
I don't think I look like somebody that wants to come and be paying rent. I don't. It's not my calling. It's not in my calling like this. As they bomb me,
I mean, you see that
as they bomb me, they bomb me.
I mean, God help
baby
us.
Girl. It's in me to enjoy life, so I can't contribute. And we've even mentioned in one episode when we talked about hiring cook, hiring this thing. I said I cannot work the kind of work that I can hire all these people. I know myself. So know yourself, know your marriage, and work accordingly. No matter what you hear, anything you hear, filter it. If you hear all these small posts, listen to the whole conversation, let it be known. And funny thing, in the comment section of that conversation with Kiki, a lot of people were saying, a lot of women were saying, oh, I'll be able to learn a few things. I'm like, oh no, apply wisdom. Like, just apply wisdom to
your learning.
You don't necessarily, because somebody is paying rent doesn't mean you should not pay. And the thing is that even in the Western country, some parts they are 50-50 to the mortgage, 50-50 to this one, 50-50. That's what works for them. That's what works. Even in that same abroad, you will see people in that same foreign country. You will still see people that are not doing anything.
Somebody I know, she's the man is the one paying mortgage.
Everything.
He bought her a car. Is the one pay. I know that when you buy a car, you are paying every month, paying insurance, paying everything. The woman is making money. She's not contributing, and their families like that. Their families like that.
So if you want to pay rent, you have money.
You go on dates. If you say we should share the bill 50-50, you are. You see, we want to bring in some of their lifestyle, but you see some of the things that they also go through. We don't want to go through them. I don't even want to get into that in the marriage in this video. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let us know what your opinions are in the comment section. What do you think about this video? What would you do? What do you think about what she said? So remember to like this video, to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Remember to leave a thumbs up. It's really means so much to us. Leave a comment, let's know what you think, and share this video. When you share this video on your Instagram page, tag myself and tag Yemi. My Instagram is victoria.a.fash and Yemi is Yemi _Ayodeji. So mine is victoria.a.fash. Okay, all right, thank you guys so very much for watching. We look forward to reading your comments, and for as many who has been liking our video, sharing, watching, we are super good for you guys. To you guys, thank you for sticking around with us with our little bit of inconsistency, but trust us, we are back. Okay, back like we never left. All right, guys, until we meet again, we still remain your favorite host, Victoria.
Yummy.
All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye.